Hey, headline I need. I'm Lauren, and I do data. And I've seen your horrible at planning projects post and about Barracks and whatever else. And I thought, golly, let's build this actually in minutes. It doesn't have to take very long. So here I have, well, if I can bring it into view, I guess. I have this console, this terminal, by which we can now start to do our work. Let's do it. I'm over at my home folder. Rails new Barracks. And then what about PostgreSQL as a driver? And do not bundle yet. Let's do that. It'll take a moment. It'll think about its things, and it'll make it whatever. We'll go to Barracks. Yeah, cool. Now, within Barracks, let's open up Visual Studio Code. I've just put it on this alias of VS Code. Most people have it on code. I don't know, whatever. So I have this thing. And inside of this, well, what can we do? Let's go take a little peek at our gem file, first of all. Let's put in a gem, which is brick, which will help us to be able to build this out quickly. And then, I don't know, not much else here, actually. I think that's just about it. I've saved that. Now let's bundle. It'll grab all this stuff. Think about its live, get its all this stuff together. Newest Rails, oh my goodness. 7.132, latest stuff. So now, let's go and build out the models that we might think that we might want, actually. So you had mentioned, like, I don't know, like somebody else in the post had said different locations or something, but I'm thinking just rooms. Actually, I think maybe we start with rooms. But then rooms need to have, like, rooms are either a male or a female room. So maybe actually we start with gender. That's what we start with. Okay, bin Rails G migration. Create gender. And just with a name on it. Just the gender has a name. You can choose two or more or whatever else you want to do. It's good. We got this now. So now maybe a room. So the same sort of a thing. Create room with a name of the room, I think, and then a gender references, because we got the one, right? So I think that's about it. What about users? People have talked about users, so we'll keep that they can have a name and a gender. So we'll create a user, a name, gender, maybe like email and a phone. I don't know what else, really, something. It's good. But then as well, like, what about if there could be something that would have, like, specific to the room? You'd said that there was a bed. So the name of a bed, yeah, we create a bed, has a name, and a room that it's within. And it's not like actually the bed is a female or male specific thing. It's actually the whole room. So the bed exists within a room, so it references the room. So that makes sense, hopefully. The final thing might be like, oh, golly, we need to create a bed that the user will be within for a certain amount of time with a check-in date and a check-out date. So we have, like, it's like an associative table, really. So it's what? It's create bed. And so, first of all, the bed just needs to be in the room. So I'm just thinking about this. This has a name and a room, references. But then, let's see. There needs to be the thought that there can be a specific person that is chosen to be in a room for a certain time and doesn't have a name. It's just a person. We already know because it's like user references, room references, and then like a check-in date maybe, and then a checkout date probably. I think that's about it. So with these various migrations, I have 6 migrations that I've now built out. Let's go ahead and try just to run them. I mean, we've already bundled, so we can do this, right? So bin Rails, db create, db migrate. Let's see what happens. So it's built out these several different tables. Let's now run this thing and see what we see. With having the brick gem involved, it will look and see what existing tables are out there and try to help us. So these are the ones that we had built. Let's just go take a peek. I'm going, let me bring this down here. What am I doing? I'm going to localhost. How about just user? Oh, there it is. We have ourselves a user. None of them. I mean, let's put me in there. How about? I'm Lauren. That's me. And who am I? I generally choose to be male. Oh, golly. However, gender doesn't even have any entries so far, so I can't even add me yet. So why don't we add actually in gender? Let's add something that's called male. And also add something that's called female. You can choose additional genders if you wish on your own terms. I'll just choose these two at the minute, so you might have multiple different barracks rooms that can accommodate people as they would want to see fit. But for me right now, so male, so I don't have any male people yet. I'm just going to add me, really, right now. That's me. And I'm male. Yeah, I already chose it. And I don't care about this other stuff. So that's me. But as well, let's add some rooms. My goodness. If we look at the grand scheme of things, to be able to reference a given I'm going to stay somewhere as a user bed, and that user bed relates to room, and so the room then has these different things. And so I just better actually build out, first of all, a room at all, like it's room maybe A and B and C and D are our rooms. And for the room A, let's just say that the gender is not what I have. Actually, it's somebody else's, and so that's cool. And also, we have another room, and it's like B room, and B room is also, hello B room. B room is not mine, it's somebody else's, which is cool. So we have a couple of rooms, and then we'll also add a room, which is the C room, so that might be for the one that I am, so that's that. And a D room as well, just for good measure, so this D thing, so it's like for people that are of my own same, whatever I was born with and chosen to continue with, apparently, like my gender or whatever. So that's that. There's no beds yet, so that's a trouble perhaps. So we'll go to the room. One of these rooms will say, of the beds, like we don't have any yet, so we'll add one, and that is bed number 1 in room A, and it just has, like, let's say it has one bed, right? So that's cool. Now we go to the rooms, and so it's one bed. So now, in this one, we'll have a couple beds. So we've got 4, maybe. It's actually, we'll add a few of them. So for this one, we'll add beds 1, and also still in the same room. B is like bed number 2. That's cool. Also, hey, what about over in that same room is bed number 3? Etc. There's a couple of bunk beds in there, so then it's like also bed 4 also in room B. So we have now those dorms set up. That's great. These various rooms are all established. 1 in room A and 4 in room B. Now we add some for the other. So this is bed 1 in C, room C. All right. And then this is bed 2 in C, etc. You get the idea, right? I mean, I'm sorry that this is tiring, really. Bed 3 in room C. Yeah, you get it. Anyway. And then bed 1 in room D, let's say. That's like a single person, whatever it is. So now we have these various beds that are in these various rooms. And so I, like Lauren, right, me, as a male person that I choose to be, I guess, like I'd like to be able to stay over in your hostel or barracks or whatever this is that you're doing. So yeah, I'll like to create a user bed. Now, could I errantly say, I'd like to say, and like I'm in room A, like here's me, and I'll choose room A, which is one bed, only me, and I'll check in on a date, whatever, I'll check out on a date, fucking don't care, whatever, do some time over at your place, right? It lets me do it, and I shouldn't have, because I have chosen to be a male person currently, but yet, like room A says it is for a female person, so that's not actually what should be allowed. So, you know, like we need to figure that out. I think we need a validator. All right, all this stuff's been going on in the background. By the way, all this stuff was automatic because the brick gem that I added automatically figure out all this stuff. All this being able to build controllers and models and shit on the fly. My goodness. What we need to find is where we had the user bed model. Actually, maybe I'll just restart this thing. Maybe this is it. Okay. This is what it had thought that user bed should look like, but I think I want more to the story. I want a validator. I want to say, if the person is male, as I am, as I choose to be, I guess, and then the room chooses to be that it is a female room, that should not be allowed, that the male person stays in the female room. So let's figure out how we can say, no, you can't do it. All right. So this is our model, as it were. This is what was had built out automatically on the fly for us when we had said, let's build all this stuff. So we'll go over here. Close this off for a minute. In our application, we'll go over to models. Build out a new model, which is user bed RB. This has user bed model, which we have here, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Save that, and just be able to get all the tabulation. It thinks a space is 4. I don't like that. Ruby likes 2, so I'm going to close and reopen it. I'll say, oh, 2 now, because it sees these 2 lines that are 2. And anyway, so I'll close it off, go, and open it back up again. There it is. And now it thinks that spaces are 2. That's cool. But what I really want here is a validator. I would like to validate. Well, let's see. Let's just speak from our mind, I guess. User must be of the same gender. How about that? You know, validate that. What do you think? Def user must be the same gender. What do you want to do? It is if. All right, we have to if first, maybe. If we don't have the same gender. So what would be something that would indicate that they don't have the same gender? Of this given object, user bed, if user gender is not equal to room.gender, then we want to do something. What do we want to do? Well, let's say errors.add, and related to gender cannot have somebody in a somebody room. Let's just start there. If the user gender, so let's steal that actually, user gender. So cannot have the user gender, and we do this with the string interpolation, user gender.name. So somebody who is male, female, non-binary, whatever else, in a room that is, so the room gender, right? If it's not equal to a room gender room, we'll also use string interpolation, room gender name room. Let's just put that together, and let me do a word wrap actually, so you can see more of that. I think. Do I have? Yeah, word wrap. Yeah. Maybe that's going to be more succinct, more concise, more approachable. So, user must be of the same gender. We have now written out a model. The brick gem will automatically build out all the other models, and everything else will work. But now that we've put this into play, then the brick gem will step back and say, I'm not going to interfere with the user bed model that you have now described. I'll allow it to exist. I will allow you to do all the things you think are appropriate. So I'll now call up this thing again, bin rails as, so it reloads all the models. It still knows that user bed is there, and we're going to go take a peek. Refreshing. I have already created this user bed. It was totally inappropriate with me staying in a girls' dorm. Absolutely crazy, really. Even though it's a single bed, I was just going to be there by myself, but it's not actually good. So I was in the wrong wing or whatever else. If I now try to save that into something that's not like whatever, oh, you know what? A user in a room. I had set that the user bed was set to only to a room. I had actually, I should start from scratch. My goodness, I think that I'd flubbed because you can't have the user in a room. It's the same room, but really it's a bed belongs to not the user, but I've flubbed up. Okay, it does not belong to the room, but the bed, that's the thing that it should belong to. I've flubbed up, my goodness. Hey, folks, thanks for listening. Golly. Let's try again. So, what the bed.room.gender should we think, right? I'd flubbed it. Okay, let me try again. I'm going to kill the database. Start again. It's not that the user's in the room, but the user's in a bed. Isn't that what it is? Oh, my goodness. All right, let's see. Of our migrations, we have built out some that have created user bed, but then I set it to a room, and that was my flub. I'm going to set it to a bed, foreign key true. Yep, check in, check out. All the rest is the same. All right, let's kill the database. Let's start again. So bin rails, drop the database right now. Whoop. Because the foreign keys would have already been established, so we'll create and migrate. Let's see what we get this time. Now we've got this again. Bin rails s. And I'll go through a similar sort of a process of being able to build this thing out. If we go over to the users, we have nobody because I'm not there anymore because we dropped the database. So I'll create a new person. The gender, I don't even have a gender, so I better build out my gender. You remember this whole process, right? The gender needs to be whatever you think it should be, really. I want you to choose. This world is very free and open to many different possibilities in terms of what you want to define yourself to be, I think. So I've established that. Now we go over to the rooms or the users or the whatever we go, really. Let's go to the users and let's build one new person, which is me. All right. And then I'll choose that I am male. This is what I have been assigned at birth. And I have all these things that could go on. But anyway, just make that person. Now, let's also make out the rooms and the beds as we had done previously. So we'll go up to rooms. Build one. Room A is the person that is not my own, perhaps. Then we'll choose that. Also, room B. Something that I am not the same gender as. All right. Room C. And this is something that... oh, gender must exist. Okay, well, what's this? Room C. It's a male-based room. So now we have these three in the barracks. We'll build some beds. So from the female one, we'll build the one bed. Beds over here. We'll just have bed 1 in room A. Cool. And then also, we'll go back and of the rooms in room C, digging into looking at the C rooms. There's no beds yet, but we'll build like a few, like 3, like we had done before. So it's a 1, and then a 2. Same kind of place, really. I like to go to user beds and build out that we have, well, not user beds, excuse me, just beds. I'm still building up beds, right? I've gotten ahead of myself again. Oh, wait, yes. This is number 2 in room C. Yeah. A male dormitory. And then finally build out as well bed number 3 in room C. This thing thinks I'm always right-clicking. It's so silly. All right, I think we're very well prepared to be able to test out, as you might recall, this validator. Validate that the user must have the same gender as the room that they are hoping to be within. So let's now try to break it once more. I had broken it before, and you saw that, and I dropped the database and everything else. So now we'll go to user beds and say, oh, let's say that somebody checks in. This person checks in over into, oh, but it doesn't really show us all that much indication on the drop down. There's more that we can do. There's more that we can do to be able to make this a lot more descriptive, because this is like bed number. Like the first thing that it can find that's like not a foreign key or something else, it says, I guess that's how I'll describe this whole object. But now we have this one that's over in the female dorms, these other three that are the male dorms. You don't know anything different between because they look like the same thing even though they're in two different dorms. So we can actually have a little bit different effect. Golly, Brick Gem lets us do some new things. That is, how about install? We have to generate that thing. We have an initializer in the mix. We're going to initialize and generate this initializer, by which we can say we'd like to have more definition behind what this user bed thing really means. That new file is here. Way down now we can describe how we would have some very self-describing sort of friendly DSL to come into play. Let's do that. This is pretty cool. So it's not user really, but really bed. I want bed to describe the room that it's within. It's not profile first name. It's actually room.name. And then without a space, how about the name of the bed? So that's pretty cool. So the bed can talk about what it is. And then as well, further, we can describe that the user bed is, how about based on, well, the user's name, that's pretty good, actually. And then the kind of gender that they are, maybe. Maybe we'll say that of the given user, like inside of parentheses even, we'll have it to be gender.name. So we can describe the user in that fashion. That's user. And then what about, let's see, the bed is the room name. Oh, we also want to maybe know about the gender of the bed. That's actually pretty important if we're going to choose a bed, right? So let's see, it's a room, gender, if you remember the room does relate to the gender, and the name of that, but also we'll put that in parentheses as well, just to be able to have it kind of, offset or whatever else. That's pretty cool. And, well, maybe that's good, actually, I guess. Or maybe, well, no, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to save that. Let's go just that far. Hopefully you understood what that was. That was me putting in this DSL, friendly DSL, to try to describe then what the bed or the room or the user or whatever else, if they're male or female. That's a big question here, actually. So we've got this now running. Refreshing this guy. Now, when I choose a user, it will indicate, because we have the DSL on board, in parentheses, it said, hey, let's have this guy to be male or female. And as well, the beds, oh goodness, yeah, we have the choice that we can choose then to be male or female. So if I then errantly choose to say, this person, who is not a female person, is choosing to see if they can now be within a female thing. Ooh, at least user must be of the same gender. It had run undefined local variable method room for user bed. Okay, I think we're getting closer, actually. So user bed doesn't have a, oh, it has a bed and then a room. Oh my goodness, I had flubbed it up. All right, let's get this figured out here. Here's user bed. This is the thing that had flubbed. Okay, what was it then? For user bed, they don't have a room. Oh, they don't have a gender? Well, it kind of does. Oh, because that's this. Actually, we need to go to room. I'm sorry, I had flubbed this up. We're already at, well, are we? User bed is not a bed yet because we said it was a bed. Oh, golly. Let's see. It belongs to bed, yeah. So, bed, room, I don't know. Oh, this is what I'd flubbed up. It needs to be bedroom gender. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going to save that out. Let's see if that works then. I'd flubbed it up previously. Please forgive me. Ah, goodness. Here I am, flubbing it up yet again. All right. You come up and you run. And then confirm form resubmission. And now it says, cannot have a male person in a female room. We had tried to choose that Lauren could be within room A, which is not a male room, it's a female. Okay, so now let's choose that the only person we have, which is a male person in the mix so far, is in C2, like bed 2 in room C, right? This is all put together because of that friendly DSL that we put together. I guess we can choose some like check-in dates, check-out dates, whatever. I had come over here before, I'm still staying, and I'm checking out at the end of the month, whatever. And it worked, oh my goodness. So, I'm sorry, this thing's still there. I need to figure out that. But, like, really, that's what we have, right? We have that a user bed is a one-to-many that relates between the bed and the user. The bed happens to be a one-to-many. So, it is a room has many beds, a bed has many user beds, and then I happen to be staying in one for this part of the month or something. And then the room as well. We would see these various rooms. There's some various different beds. Hopefully that makes sense. We build this out in a few minutes. Let's party on Rockstar Rails. This is the thing that we do late at the night in the middle of UK when there's nothing else to do, and I'm just tired of doing it anyway. This is the thing that I like to share with you. This is me, Lauren, data person, hoping that you love your life in all the ways you want to, and let's figure out how to make code easy once again. That's Rails 7/8/ anything that we want to do in the future, really. Love you much, and let's party hard.